moving on to the Indianapolis Colts for the second time this year. They are heading to Los Angeles to face, this time, the Los Angeles Chargers. Of course, Indy's only loss of the year actually happened in SoFi Stadium against the Rams, so something to keep in mind. The Chargers are going to be 2-point favorites in this one. 48.5 is your over-under. In terms of the money line, pretty much even, but we got Indy at plus 110 and the Chargers at minus 130. Raider Jim, AFC West remains your jurisdiction. Indy at LA. Thoughts?
Yeah, I'm still on the Daniel Carlson bandwagon. No, but he's not going to be MVP because Baker Mayfield's going to be MVP. I will say it again, and I'll get to Baker later. But this is actually going to be an interesting game. I understand, I guess, home field advantage. That's how the Chargers are a 2-point favorite. But here's what's going to happen when they take the field. There's not going to be they can't win this one by luck. With 60 seconds left on the clock. You're not going to do that against Indianapolis. The Colts on the offense, they got a good running game, and they will have success running the ball. And when they have that success, they're going to open up the pass game, and then Daniel's going to do his thing. And watch out, it's going to be Indiana Jones. He's going to do his thing. And then the other thing on the other side of the ball, the Chargers, they do have some success with the pass. Colts secondary is marginal at best. However, they've got a hellacious pass rush. Yeah. And I was watching poor Justin Herbert get pinged around like a pinball. And that's going to happen again. They also tend to create turnovers. The Colt defense does. So by virtue of that, I'll take a point and give me Indianapolis plus 3 over under 48.5. I'm going to go under because I don't see this being a shutout because I think the Chargers are going to get stifled.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. I'm going to do something I don't normally do. Generally, we do this pod and we just talk and blah, blah, blah. But lately, great work with our producer who kind of gets these shorts out and then the main podcast. But over the past few weeks, we've had our quote unquote trap games have been kind of their standalone videos. And a lot of the comments are saying, this isn't a trap game for this team, blah, blah, blah. When I say trap game, I'm talking about for us, the bettors, not the team. So hopefully that is the start of this clip and we can get rid of some of that confusion. So, but again, I feel like this is a betting trap game. Raider Jim, you kind of alluded to it. Chargers are beaten up. They needed everything. They needed all 60 minutes to beat a dysfunctional Miami team and needed a late field goal to do it. Indy, as you mentioned, they're secondary marginal. The stats definitely will lay that out for you as well. They're in the bottom half of the league against the pass. But I will say the way Indy has jumped up on teams, it makes it difficult because when you're up by whatever 14 points early on, guess what? That's going to turn into a 40, 50 pass game or attempts a game, and you are going to pick up yards eventually. NFL offenses will pick up yards if you let them throw the ball 50 times a game. But you hit the nail on the head. It's the pass rush. For me, that's where it all comes down to. I'm not even going to mess with the spread here. I'm going to take Indy on the money line. I think Indy wins this game. I think the Chargers need to get healthy. The question of when they get healthy and is it too late? That's something that will need to be answered because it's not total panic time for the Chargers, but they are looking like the third best team in that division. And that makes things very difficult to make a playoff spot if you're third in your division. So give me Indy. In terms of the over-under here, I am going to go with the over. And I do think the Chargers, because their running game is just so bad, I do think they are going to throw the ball. And it's going to be enough to get us over 48.5. Not terribly confident about it. Much more confident with Indy on that. But again, I do think obviously the Chargers can throw the ball. Been very impressed with Quentin Johnson this year. He's kind of been the butt of a lot of jokes, and he's had a really, really good year, as has Keenan Allen, obviously Ladd McConkey, and Justin Herbert's doing everything he can to stay upright. But I do think Indy just has too much here, and the Chargers are just a little still too beaten up. But a lot of talk in the trade market about Breece Hall to the Chargers. That would be huge for the Chargers, but it's going to cost them a lot if I put my general manager hat on.